Welcome to Meet the Candidates. I'm your host, Kim Kotis, and I'm here with David L. Tague, Muskegon County Sheriff candidate. Thank you, David, for joining us today.
Thank you.
So, Dave, tell me about your experience serving the Muskegon County Sheriff's Department.
I retired a few years ago from Muskegon County Sheriff's Department. I served there for 30 years. I started my career out as a jail guard, and I did that for 15 years. I then became a bailiff, district court, and then circuit court. District court bailiff, you bailiff and transport prisoners to and from the district courts, and later as a circuit court bailiff, I did the same thing.
So tell me about what you think the role of the sheriff is in terms of leadership within the department, as well as the management of the facilities that you're responsible for.
Well, the sheriff is the top of the pyramid, and he disseminates knowledge and leadership from that peak. And we're lacking leadership right now. There's many things that are going on that just need directions. A lot of deputies just need a little bit of direction, and they'll be good deputies, better deputies.
What about the responsibility of running the Department of Corrections and some of the other tasks that are assigned to the Sheriff's Department in terms of, do we have an adequate staff to meet that, from road patrol to corrections to process servers and all that?
We do not have enough staff. We're working with the same staff now that we had a few years ago. A few years ago, the jail population was 400 and under, and when it was at 400, it was overcrowded. Our new jail has almost 600 inmates, and we're working with the same staff, and the current sheriff says we can reduce staff even further. That's actually a bad proposition. The jail guys are overworked now. They're stretched to the limit. The county is not hiring anybody new. This is a young man's job, and for some of the older deputies, it's going to be very hard to perform these tasks because they are quite busy.
How important do you think the role of revenue sharing and support from the state government, besides the local citizenry, is in terms of being able to finance the operations of the department, from staffing to other operations?
Well, this year we're going to make our first jail payment, which is $1.8 million. In the past 2 years, we've only paid the interest on that. I'm foreseeing we've got cut short from the state because of they're keeping more of the funds that we used to get. And there might have to be some kind of millage eventually to help support the jail, because right now they're talking about laying off. And we can't afford to lay off anybody.
Well, I would imagine that the demands on the department from all the different operations that they're responsible for, it must be quite taxing on that. How many is it okay to talk about how many members of the department there are? Are, you know, like 40, 100?
Yeah, I thought there was 80 some deputies.
Okay.
But I'm not sure on the exact number. But the jail is the primary task of the sheriff. That's his primary function. And the secondary is courts, and lastly is road patrol. The sheriff has got to coordinate all the monies for the jail and the road patrol. You need to be a good administrator and not mismanage money. You can't be writing checks from the wrong check accounts or...
So you feel there have been questionable practices within the departments?
And spending frivolously. For instance, on overtime, some of the command officers were giving themselves overtime, and they only stopped it when some probation officers got busted for doing similar practices. There were 2 probation officers. One was allowed to retire, and the other one was prosecuted for embezzling money.
Do you think that with all the trainings and some of the advanced techniques and other operational demands, whether it be from the federal government or from how the changing nature of policing is, you think that's taking the members of the department away from their basic task for public safety?
Well, some of my opponents have spent money on SWAT teams that are a duplication of services. The state police have a SWAT team in place, and we spent a lot of money training on SWAT teams. Now, it was a grant, so we got this huge vehicle that there's only 3 in the whole country. Muskegon, Miami, and New York have one. It's huge. It cost over $100,000. And I don't think we're going to be using it much. We're going to be selling it probably in 10 years for a fraction of that cost, and it was a waste of money. Some of my friends have said that it's okay because it was grant money, but frivolously spending the federal government's money as well as the county's money is a bad mistake. For instance, we had to pay officers overtime to fill in for those officers. Even though they pay the officers to go to SWAT team on the grants, you still have to fill those vacant positions. And I felt those positions would be better pursuing Rebecca Bleich's murderer instead of spending it on SWAT training. We spent a lot of money on overtime when we should have been investigating a serial killer.
Again, that goes back to staffing and how important it is the way people are assigned to their tasks. Are we making the best use of the talent that we have in the department?
No, I remember when I was a deputy, they actually frowned on it. The only people they wanted to go to schools were the people that gave political endorsements or pounded signs. They actually harassed deputies for trying to get ahead and go to school.
Well, I just think as we try and talk about the integrity and accountability of the department, what would you do as sheriff to implement other changes to make it more streamlined or more accountable?
Well, first of all, I need to end certain practices. 2 of the last 4 captains sent themselves to school all year long on the county's money and on the county's bill. So they not only went to the seminars for free, they got paid for doing them. And oftentimes they would pick cities that they wanted to vacation in. So this practice has to end. And then you don't brag about it. I would be ashamed to be telling people that I have all these credentials if I collected them all from the state. I personally sent myself to over 30 seminars, 8 of which the county paid for. I'm trying to save the county money, and I set by example. I sent myself to school. I paid for it myself because I wanted to be professional, and I was a professional.
Can you tell me about your rapport with officers in the department now? You said you served for 30 years. Are some of these things that you're learning about what's going on in the department things that you feel that officers just can't talk about?
Yes. There's ramifications. When you're in a political office, years ago, many, many years ago, when the sheriff used to leave, everybody got fired. Well, now they have unions to protect them, but they can still be harassed and make them want to quit. But you would not get choice assignments. You'd be badgered. Perhaps if you were a command officer, you might be assigned to 3rd shift if you made the sheriff mad.
See, these are important things for the public to really give consideration to, and I think it's important that you be able to make the case for what you've learned and what you've gone through and where you'd like to take the department. So we're going to come back and take a brief break, and please stay with us and learn more about our candidate here.
David L. Tague for Muskegon County Sheriff.
A lot of important decisions are made in this building. I'm Brenda Sprader, running for Muskegon County Probate Judge. This is a family law position, and for years I've worked as a family law trial attorney and public defender representing juveniles and abuse-neglect families. I understand the frustrations and struggles that many families face, and as judge, my experience would give me the wisdom to be fair and the strength to do what is needed to ensure people involved with family court have a better experience. I'm asking you to vote for me, Brenda Sprader.
For years, people have put together photo collages for special occasions. They go through the photo album and old shoe boxes and pull out their favorite photos and put them on poster boards. The boards are a great way of sharing stories, but it can be a pretty tedious job. Well, we here at Clocks, we want to make that job easier for you. So just bring us all the photos and we'll scan them into the computer, and then we'll print out the collages on our large format printer. That way, all the photos will be in digital format so you can share them with your friends and relatives.
We all make mistakes. As a defense attorney, I've seen just how costly those mistakes can be. I've also seen the importance of our district court judges' sentencing decisions. That's why I'm running for district court judge. My name's Joshua Eldenbrady, and I'm asking for your vote on August 2nd.
McDonald's Candies, 1064 South Getty Street in Muskegon, features an assortment of chocolate-covered nuts and creams, peanut clusters, fudge, seafoam, turtles, cherry cordials, and regular and holiday novelties.
In the 150 years we've been in business, many things have changed. Our greatest achievements are rooted in the things that haven't. Years ago, the person you called banker was also the person you called friend. When it came to service, there were fewer layers and friendlier smiles. And banks earned the trust of their customers and community while working tirelessly not to lose it. At Independent Bank, all this remains true today. Sure, we've made advances that help customers bank more conveniently and more comfortably. But at the end of the day, we know that people really need a trustworthy partner committed to their financial goals, dreams, and aspirations. And we've been happy to be that partner since 1864.
Hi, I'm Terry Sabo. I'm currently the chairman of the Muskegon County Board of Commissioners and also a 25-year veteran of the City of Muskegon Heights Police and Fire Departments. Prior to that, I was on the Muskegon County Road Commission for 2 years and a veteran of the United States Air Force. I've spent a career on bringing people together to solve problems, and I intend to take that attitude to Lansing with me when I'm elected as your next state representative. So on August 2nd, I hope to earn your vote as the next state representative for the 92nd District.
Welcome back to Meet the Candidates. I'm your host, Kim Kotis, and I'm here with Democratic candidate for Muskegon County Sheriff, David L. Tague. Welcome back, David. What are some of the operational and liability costs for the county that we really need to take into account?
Well, there's something called vicarious liability. That's a legal term for if a subordinate does something that's illegal or improper, the boss, i.e. the sheriff, can be sued for. We've had at least a half a dozen deaths in the jail, either suicides or medical conditions where people died, and each one cost us $1.5 to $3 million each. DeHonte McKinley was a recent one who got pepper sprayed while in the restraint chair. It cost us $1.55 million. The previous county administrator thought we could save the money to make the jail payments just by not being sued. And as you know, we're under a current civil suit by female inmates for saying that the corrections officer were watching them take showers and et cetera, et cetera.
But in terms of, you mentioned we have this debt payment on the jail, and we have these liability costs, and then we have reduced funding from the state. So how do we manage to change that equation?
Well, part of these previous problems was there's a book called Jails and Lockups, printed by the Department of Corrections. And we're liable to follow that by regulatory law. Regulatory law is if it's in writing and it's administrative law, you're supposed to follow it. Well, the sheriff never had a copy of rules for jails and lockups, and he never referred to it to any of his command officers. And we are still liable. That's part of the reason we got sued by these inmates.
So, as leader of the department, how would you give better oversight over the officers in your department so that these abuses don't take place?
Well, I've lived corrections and Department of Corrections in the jail for the last 35 years. And I know how it's supposed to be done, and it's not being done like that. I do have a copy of the rules for jail and lockups, and I've referred to it many, many times. And I would have to make sure that all my command officers and staff knew what they were and how to implement them. And like I say, I've had extreme experience implementing these rules.
Let's talk a little bit about something different. How important is the role of the public in helping to support the Sheriff's Department? I know we have Silent Observer and some other neighborhood watch and things of that means, but how much is it a burden for the department to not have the cooperation of the community in investigations and to be able to let you know what's going on?
Well, we need our community to help us. I've been going door to door, and there are many security systems on many houses. And I'm surprised that there is a fair amount of crime. And the people in Muskegon I would say, are scared in many cases where vandalism, for instance, eggs thrown at their house or broken into. One lady I spoke to said the bandit broke into her house while she was in the house. She came home to get something. A guy ran in there and stole her purse right while she was home. And crime is pretty rampant in some areas. And we need a road patrol to police the area. We can't just rely on the state police only. And it would be a travesty to lose our road patrol. And so sometime down the road, we're going to probably have to ask for a special millage, and the people deserve a road patrol.
Well, let's talk about the county overall. We have a lot of smaller townships and villages that have their own departments, but the role of the sheriff's department in helping to supplement some of the more rural parts of the county, do you think that they're being served fairly, or that there's enough staff to address their needs?
Yeah, I think they're getting their needs addressed. Ottawa County, for instance, has more officers, so our officers do have to work harder because we have fewer officers. But I would say they earn their money.
So they're available. I mean, I know there's pins up in my area, but I don't know about Ravenna and some of the other outer parts of the county.
Well, the pins fades in and out. Sometimes they get grants, and many times they do renew it, though, and I'm very happy for the community to be doing that for us.
Okay, great. Let's talk about some of the things that you'd like to do to lead the department and help to, and see some of the challenges in the next few years as sheriff.
I see the main challenge right now as the budget. And that's why I want to do reasonable cuts. Knock off the silly spending. Don't buy things we don't need. Don't waste the federal government's money. Don't waste our money. And I think training has a lot to do with it. We got a federal grant for Train the Trainer for a bomb school. And they usually send 1 or 2 people from a department to go to these things. And we sent everybody in court services, I think it was 10 or 12 guys, over the course of a couple months. Now, it was nice that we all got trained in bomb school, because I think it might be necessary someday to know these things. But you don't send everybody, and that was a waste of federal government money. And as we know, they're probably in the same position the county is. We can't be wasting their money. Furthermore, when we all came back from bomb school, we were supposed to train everybody, all the department and all the court staff. We didn't train anybody. We came back and we still conducted practice runs, but we didn't train anyone.
So what should the people in Muskegon County know about why David L. Tague should be the one to lead the department?
Well, first of all, I'm honest. And second of all, I have a certificate in accounting, so I have some accounting background. I took a year of accounting and I have a certificate in it. We're going to need a sheriff that knows the budget, that doesn't get his checks mixed up, that can cut things that when they need cutting, because it's going to be hard choices with a lack of budget. My wife works for the district court. They've been working 4 and 5 people short for several years, and they're talking about cutting them again. It's just not going to work. Just like if you cut the jail staff, cutting the jail staff will not work. It runs smoothly when everybody's just doing their job, but if you have a fight, when the police officers have a rowdy arrest and they bring them into the jail, usually the jail officers assist that officer if he needs help. Because usually it's just one car, one officer, he's by himself. So if the jail deputies aren't there to help him, he might have his hands full. And each deputy has an assignment, and he can't really leave it because they're in charge of that area that's controlled. Everything is controlled by buttons. So that man has to be in that room. They do not have a key. They can't run around too freely. It's just not going to happen.
We all make mistakes. As a defense attorney, I've seen just how costly those mistakes can be. I've also seen the importance of our district court judges' sentencing decisions. That's why I'm running for district court judge. My name's Joshua Eldenbrady, and I'm asking for your vote on August 2nd.
Celebrate the grand opening of the new Muskegon Farmers Market, now located at 242 West Western Avenue in beautiful downtown Muskegon. With over 100 vendors, the market offers fresh fruits and vegetables, flowers, pet supplies, honey, maple syrup, fresh caught fish, and much, much more. Their brand new building includes a year-round indoor market as well as an incubator and community service kitchen. This year, the Muskegon Farmers Market will introduce 2 new programs. The Power of Produce, teaching children ages 5 to 12 how to shop at the farmers market and prepare nutritious meals, along with Arts on the Market, featuring fine arts and crafts. You can enjoy live music performed on their outdoor stage as well. For more information, visit MuskegonFarmersMarket.com.
Big AAA Storage, offering individually enclosed climate-controlled units from 5x10 to 10x15 feet. Recommended for records, furniture, valuables, and antiques. As well as outdoor units ranging from 10x15 to 10x35 feet. All units are fenced, lighted, equipped with video cameras, and electronic keyed access with security gate. Open 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Big AAA Storage, fulfilling your storage needs.
Beginning as a lumber company in 1911, Fredericks Construction has been servicing the Muskegon area since 1969. Family owned and operated, they specialize in roofing, siding, windows, insulation, additions, doors, decks, and more. Located at 1940 Commerce Street in beautiful downtown Muskegon, their phone number is 231-722-3937. When you want quality workmanship, you want Fredericks Construction.
Hello, Muskegon. My name is Mark DeWitt. I'm the owner here at RPM Automotive. We've been here since 1996. We're a full-service auto repair center. We do both foreign and domestic repairs. Most of our repairs are performed same day. We do everything from AC, engine repair, and computer diagnostics. Feel free to call or come by and see us. We're located on Getty Street, next to the Getty Street Grill.
Bella Maria's in Norton Shores features live music every weekend, along with delectable Italian-American cuisine, succulent steaks, seafood, and of course all your Italian favorites. Bella Maria's Event Center can be rented for weddings, private parties, and corporate events. From their Palermo room, which faces the golf course and features a tent, to their elegant ballroom, Bella Maria's can accommodate up to 350 guests. Bella Maria's in Norton Shores. You can find them on Facebook.
David, can you tell us why it's important and why the voters should come out and support this race for sheriff?
There are 6 candidates for the office of sheriff this election. 2 of them are Republicans, 4 of us are Democrats. I need your support on the Democratic ticket. This is one of your local offices where there's a lot of power and control exerted over your community. Your community needs a strong, honest sheriff. Please vote for David L. Tague, August 2nd, Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dave. We appreciate it. Get out and vote.
Hi, I'm Terry Sabo. I'm currently the chairman of the Muskegon County Board of Commissioners and also a 25-year veteran of the City of Muskegon Heights Police and Fire Departments. Prior to that, I was on the Muskegon County Road Commission for 2 years and a veteran of the United States Air Force. I've spent a career on bringing people together to solve problems, and I intend to take that attitude to Lansing with me when I'm elected as your next state representative. So on August 2nd, I hope to earn your vote as the next state representative for the 92nd District.
Your vehicle is an important part of your life. It gets you where you need to go, so it's important to take good care of it. At Van's Quick Lube, every vehicle gets up to 6 quarts of high-quality Quaker State oil, a new oil filter, and a free car wash with every service. At Van's Car Wash and Quick Lube, you will get a quick wash that will be done right the first time, and you'll experience the hand-scrubbed and Simonized difference. With 6 convenient locations, Van's Car Wash and Quick Lube will keep your car looking good and running great.
With 4 convenient locations, Jack's Corner Store is one-stop shopping at its best. Tools, fresh meats, produce, chips, snacks, and other grocery items, beer, wine, and liquor, even gas and lottery. That's why Jack's is your corner store and so much more.
A lot of important decisions are made in this building. I'm Brenda Sprader, running for Muskegon County Probate Judge. This is a family law position, and for years I've worked as a family law trial attorney and public defender representing juveniles and abuse-neglect families. I understand the frustrations and struggles that many families face, and as judge, my experience would give me the wisdom to be fair and the strength to do what is needed to ensure people involved with family court have a better experience. I'm asking you to vote for me, Brenda Sprader.